Hi guys, welcome back to TR's Tarot Talk 1111. Tonight is a very special collaboration. We have a special guest. Her name is JULENE, and her business is called Joe's Star Soul Astrology. Sorry. Say hi, JULENE. Say hi.
Hi.
So JULENE is kind of a kindred soul. I didn't know how to read tarot. I never took any formal classes. I was kind of afraid of it. And I was just shown by spirit that it was something I was intended to do, that I needed to learn. I don't think I learned it. I think I remembered it because it took very, very short amount of time for me to accomplish in my readings what other people had taken lifetimes to develop. And I'm pretty sure JULENE's the same way. I mean, she just started studying Western astrology about how many months ago, JULENE?
Well, it's been almost 11 months that I've been studying formally, but I've been studying informally for a couple years.
Okay, well, it's been 3 years for me. So, but you and I do a lot of readings for each other. We connect a lot. We call it our girls' night, and we've talked for hours into the night. And so one thing I noticed is, okay, so just so everybody knows, JULENE does resonate with being a divine feminine. And so she is part of our soul tribe. She is part of the ascension, part of ground crew, what I like to call you know, the star seeds, light workers, volunteer souls that are here at this time to help with the ascension process. And so we've been wanting to do this collaboration for a while, and it took a little figuring out, but I think we've got it down. So tonight, what we're going to do is I am going to deliver the channeled message that I normally do during my live when I do the moon ritual. But tonight we're going to do it with JULENE. I'm going to deliver the channeled message, and JULENE then is going to pull up her side of the screen and put the chart up, and she's going to talk about what she sees for the full moon and see if there's any correlation between what spirit has brought me and what she actually sees in the chart. And then at the end, we're going to just chat and kind of pull it all together. And hopefully you guys enjoy this. And she's also a Patreon member. So for those of you who are Patreon members, this will be uploaded for Patreons also. And I'm hoping if we can get all the glitches out and figure out how to actually go live without pre-recording, me and JULENE might be able to do a couple of lives for the Patreons as a special little treat, you know, for big. We'll wait until there's some kind of a big movement going on in the clouds and the stars. So, excuse me. I just wanted to let everybody know I'm losing my voice again. I'm sucking on a cough drop. But so JULENE has agreed, we both agreed to collaborate together and offer a discount. If anybody wants to purchase a reading from me, JULENE will match that reading and the price. We're going to give you a discounted price. Okay. I usually charge $100 for an hour. JULENE charges $150, but to do a chart. Now, I don't know that yours is time. There's no time limit. You just do the chart and go over it, right?
Correct. It usually takes about an hour and a half, at least, to do a birth chart reading. So, yeah.
Okay. So if you order a reading from me, I'm going to give you a discount of $75 for your reading from me, and she's going to match that if you book a reading from both of us. So this is how we can support each other's channel. She's just opening her own YouTube channel. She's already got it up, and she will be putting this video on it tomorrow. And so I'll put all the links in the description box below so you guys can support her and order a reading from her. Let her know if you ordered a reading from me. You guys know in my description box below, when you order a reading, you have to take a snapshot or a screenshot of your payment. So when you take that screenshot and you send it to me to book your reading, then send that same screenshot to Julene via her email that will be linked in the description box below. And that will let her know that you are eligible for her. Geez, that's a very generous discount. It's $75 off your normal price, right?
Yes.
Yes, so it's half price. So if you guys are interested, Julene will do a birth chart for you. And yeah, what about synastry charts? Do you do synastry charts or no?
I do synastry charts, relationship charts, and I call it relationship charts. I could do just synastry. That's just the energies between two people. It shows where things might be synergistic and where there might be challenges. If somebody wants to look at the actual relationship, then we're looking at a composite chart. To do an entire relationship reading, it is looking at the birth charts of both people, then looking at the synastry, and then taking it over to a composite, which is the actual life of the relationship itself. So that all combined it's $250 because you're looking at 4 charts and they can take 2 to 4 hours depending on the person. I like to keep it somewhere between 2 and 3, but yeah, we can do that.
I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Now that's not part of the discount, but I wanted to mention that because a lot of my viewers are resonating with the twin flame journey, and that might be something they're very interested in looking at, is a relationship reading of their charts to kind of get some clarity on, you know, how things are in that relationship. And I can't elaborate a lot on that because I don't know much about it, but I think that your work is awesome. You seem to channel. You don't just read the stars and the planets. You actually are a channeler. You're very, you know, in tune with spirit. And I do believe it's your mission. So if anybody is interested, pardon me, in ordering one of those from Julene also, just so you know, she does offer them. Okay, so thank you, Julene. I'm going to go ahead. You're welcome. I'm so excited. I hope we are thinking about maybe making this a thing, right?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
I think it would be great. Lots of fun.
I do
I'm
too. If
excited.
we did
Thank you.
every new moon and every full moon, then that would help build your YouTube channel. And I just love you. So
I love you too.
I
I love you too. Oh my gosh.
really love to do a collaboration. This is where spirit's been leading me. I mean, they put you on my path. They put 2 other astrologers on my path, and it's funny, one is Vedic. And so I don't know. I've asked her if she would be interested in doing a collaboration. I met her at an expo. I don't want to say her name because she hasn't agreed yet, but Vedic astrology is a lot different, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I looked at Vedic astrology when I started my formal education, and it was unbelievably overwhelming to look at. It's very, very different. The signs and the planets that are positioned entirely different and read differently than Western astrology. It's really intriguing. I enjoy it. It's another take on astrology. But yeah, it's quite involved. Very cool.
So who knows, maybe in the future I might collaborate. Spirit's just really been pushing me to incorporate astrology. And anybody that watches my YouTube channel knows that my channeled messages are very weird. Like I actually channel astrology, but I don't understand it. And so I've over the last year or so, not just Julene, but some other astrologers have validated that what I channel has actually really been happening in the stars. And so it's just, more on point to the fact that what I'm channeling is kind of on point, it's relevant. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the channeled message. And when I'm done, I'm going to give the platform over to Julene. She's going to pull up the charts, and then I'm going to enjoy her version of tonight's channeled message. And then we'll pull it all together at the end. How's that?
Sounds fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and turn my video off so that Tracie can do her channeled message, and everybody can focus on her, but I'll be listening in the background, of course. So, okay.
All right. So I did, I always do a little bit of research just because when I do automatic writing, I kind of need, it's like a person that writes a book. I need a title and I need like my first sentence or my first thought to get the channeled message going. So the little bit of research I did was just that the full moon, of course, is tomorrow, Wednesday, October 20th. And I don't remember, because you do Greenwich time, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to tell you the time. She'll tell you in her portion, but it's going to be 27 degrees opposing the sun, and it's in Aries, and the sun is in Libra. Now, the only thing that Spirit started the channel on was that Mars rules Aries and is working behind the scenes to support forward moving energy and in a very timely manner. So that's where I started. That was the little bit that I got. And then I just started channeling. So the channel message, they always give me keywords, and the key phrase. And the key phrase was recalibration of self energy. So the full moon in Aries is about a recalibration of self energy. So Aries is a strong masculine energy. It gives us courage to trust and act in our own best interests. Be mindful of your own energy, honoring your needs to move forward in a new cycle. My guides say expect to gain some new clarity about who you are and what you're creating. This clarity comes from all the retrogrades that are either stationed or beginning to station direct again. So there was a review of sorts that Spirit showed me of things that, each planet brings a different energy and a different review, but it's all culminating now to go forward, to push us forward. So it will be giving you clarity about who you are and what you're creating and how you've been sacrificing your own energy and happiness to rescue or save others. We're being taught slowly and methodically how to separate our energy fields from others that we have been sharing with for lifetimes. Spirit says not just this lifetime, but many. We're talking soul tribe, right? Karmic and family, soul ties. So during the ascension, we are learning that it is a choice to ascend. Every single soul was invited. Those who chose it are absolutely already on it. Each person's journey, unique and planned. So all of your soul tribe that we have been co-creating with since the last evolutionary quantum jump, which is a cycle, it's a larger cycle, right? So you think of like layers in density. So a lot of people call it third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, but there's also densities or timelines vibrational frequencies, timelines in each of those dimensions, which spirit calls densities. So as you're ascending and raising your vibration into higher timelines, you reach kind of like the ceiling of the 3D perspective, which is separation and duality. And so on this ascension, when you hit that plateau, the only way to get from the third dimension into the fourth dimension and the fifth dimension is quantum jumping. Okay, it's not it's not something that you earn or you pray your way into. It's literally, you have to become the vibrational match to it, and then you make the quantum jump. So we've been co-creating with certain soul tribes since the last evolutionary quantum jump. And it's a cycle, and now we're being shuffled according to our free will choice and preparedness. Okay, that was a key word Spirit told me to put in parentheses. It's not just about your free will choice, it's about vibration and frequency and preparedness. So we've been preparing for this for, you know, probably lifetimes, but in this lifetime at least, you know, we had to have the initiation, we had to have the call to service, and then we started the dark night of the soul and the purging and the shadow work. And it's, you know, if you've been on the journey, you understand. I don't have to go any further into that. So according to our free will choice and our preparedness, you see, in order to catch a higher timeline, it's a bit like energy surfing. First, you must energetically prepare the avatar. Well, it's mind, body, spirit, right? Your mind, your body, and your soul, your heart. And so once you're energetically prepared, then you find the vibrational alignment of our soul to the exact vibrational frequency of the timeline that we are leaping to, quantum leap, okay? So the Aries full moon is just refining our frequency. Now, my spirit guides wanted me to really clarify here. This full moon is not the quantum jump. It is a reshuffling and a reevaluation, which basically was happening during the retrogrades, and now we're facing a refinement, refining our frequency and, you know, choosing what we want and what we're willing to release to prepare for it. So we're again being taught how to discern our own energy versus other people's energies. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I have. Like when I go out in public and I'm in big crowds of people, I never used to be aware of energy. I just wasn't. And on my ascension journey, I've been learning how to protect my energy as an empath and how to discern boundaries between what's mine and what belongs to others. So this is part of the recalibration that's happening. It's a moving forward, right? You think the hangman, that's where we've been during the retrogrades, is we've been learning things, revisiting old energies, and now we're being pushed forward. And but there's the recalibration that is happening during this full moon. So we've been being taught how to discern our own energy versus other people's energy. This is not an easy task, as we have been vibrationally aligned and tuned to a soul group for many lifetimes. That's ancestral karma, right? That's patterning. That's DNA patterning. It's, you know, my mom taught me how to do that. My mom's mom taught her, and her mom's mom taught her, and it's been passed down generationally. And illnesses and diseases can be, you know, they start as emotional imprinting, and then they can be passed down also as shadow through the lineage. So it kind of gets entangled there, right? But we're learning to discern our own energy, how to clear that ancestral patterning and own what is ours and heal and release what was just programming, right? It's coming back to self. It's the union with source. So think of it like going from middle school to high school. Some of your old friends will still be in your class, but there are many new souls now being introduced to you. Some classmates were not ready and chose to stay behind and work on their own lessons more. But we all share a frequency. So we are, during this past 20 days or so, we've been slowly revisiting via the moon. The moon's the one doing the revisiting, but we're connected, right, to the moon's energy. So we've been slowly revisiting via the moon and the retrograde planets, doing the recalibration. So I'm not really sure. This is where I put in parentheses. I'm not sure what this means, Julene. Maybe you can elaborate. Okay. So maybe if you can remember that or jot down a note where Spirit was saying that we've all been sharing a frequency, but during the past 20 days or so, and certainly longer for some planets, we've been slowly revisiting via the moon, because the moon visits each of those planets, is what Spirit told me, in the cycle, in the lunar cycle, and allowing us to revisit each of those planets via the moon, recalibrating. And I didn't know what that meant. So I'm going to let you maybe elaborate on that if you understand what my guides were telling me. So I'm being shown the moon moving to one planet at a time, recalibrating and adjusting, almost like a reporter researching for a paper that it's going to write. Like the moon is interviewing each planet, right? Then it comes back to the beginning, to the sign of Aries, where we are currently having the full moon. And now it's ready to write a new story with new soulmates or new classmates, some of the old ones too, right? But there will be certain people who vibrationally are not going in the same direction as we are on the ascension. So we're being shown how to pull our energy back and disconnect from lower vibrational influences, soul group, friends, family, not like walking out of their life, maybe some of them, but for the most part, we're just learning how to have healthy boundaries. I'm going to put it that way. So where was I? So now the moon is ready to write its new story with new soulmates or new classmates, because the ascension and creation of the gates and portals that we are leaping to are very precisely coordinated and timed. It consists of exact planetary alignments to create the passage or gateway. And then, like a cosmic surfer, if we are aligned vibrationally in vibration and frequency, we can use our intentions to catch that wave as it presents itself. So that's a quantum leap, guys. It's coming. It's not here. We're preparing. So since 2012, our souls, those who chose this lifetime to ascend, and those who volunteered to incarnate as guides and way showers, have been recalibrating and catching these shifts and waves. It's a slow, methodical process. We purge, we clear, we align, we jump. Purge, clear, align, jump. Not everybody's doing it at the same time, but those who have done the work and were ready for those portals were absolutely supported by the stars and the planets and the universe to push forward and make that quantum jump. I know my whole life has changed. Like I know I'm on a much higher timeline than I was 3 years ago, even 12 years ago. So we are now back fresh at Aries, the sign of fire, leadership, and self. Not selfish, but self-aware, self-aligned. And we are pulling or calling back our energy into ourself. Then we are quantumly untangling our energy from old soul contracts and karmic relationships. Think about Saturn going direct, right? I believe, Julene, you told me that, Saturn, if you've done good, Saturn brings you a gift. If you haven't done good, then there's a balancing, a rebalancing of karmic energies. I'll let you talk about that. But so we are quantumly untangling our energy from old contracts, old karmic relationships, old belief systems. It's the last drawback, completing our old contracts and finding our own singular energy, knowing ourselves, knowing our own energy separate from the group and also with the group. But I mean, you have to know how to separate yourself from the herd, right? So what do we need? What do we need, want, feel, desire, expect, or want to create moving forward so we can align with our new soul tribe and the frequencies to catch our next wave and timeline? So this full moon is time to focus on your energy separate from all energies that no longer vibe with you, like you used to really get along and now you're clashing, right? You're not in the same vibration, same frequency. It's time to kind of lovingly disengage your energy from anything that no longer serves you, basically. And that could be people, that could be jobs, that could be romantic interests, it can be belief systems, religious views, anything. I mean, everything's shifting. And so we are being asked to stop trying to save everybody else and to focus on our own energy. The time for saving other people has come and passed, is what Spirit tells me. Now we are to teach, we are to shine our light from the inside out, and those who chose it are following right behind. It's what's intended. And those who weren't ready, you're not going to convince them. You're not going to red pill them, blue pill them. You're just not going to. The time for that happened already. They've made their choice, right? It doesn't mean there aren't new people awakening. There are, but their soul, their higher soul, their higher self chose that. And everybody gets the wake up call in their own divine timing. So it's time to disentangle with anybody that you clash with or no longer vibe with. And you are in the now moment. You need to be in the now moment. Say your goodbyes if you need to, but you don't have to. Those who don't catch this wave will just slowly fall off your radar, maybe possibly to catch up again later on down the line. Some you may never vibe with again, but remember, everyone got the call and everyone chose with their free will what they wanted to experience. Points of focus for this full moon in Aries, where my guides say, is self. You are creating your new life. Focus on what it is you're wanting to create, what you're wanting to experience, and stop sacrificing your own happiness, your own health, your own time, your own money to try to save others. They will try to hold you here in the timeline that we're currently in, like a life preserver, right? So let them swim. Spirit says it's not cruel. They all know how. And in their soul has a plan, a purpose, right? So let them swim. You don't have to be their savior. How you can save people is just by being the light. That's all. So let them swim. They all know how. It's time for you to choose your future path, then reach for it and make your jump when you are aligned. And there's portals and portals and portals. But for those who are feeling ready, if you've been kind of waiting for that next moment, that next inspiration, you're like, okay, where do I go from here? Then you're probably ready. And so it's time for you to just clear your energy and focus on your journey. All right, now there was a little PS here for those who resonate with being twin flames. My spirit guides say, twins, let go of your low vibrational twin. They are on every timeline. Remember that there's densities in each dimension, and we are quantum. We are multi-dimensional. There are versions of us. What we're doing is we were in separation. Think of a slinky. Like there's parts of us in every one of those dimensions and those densities. And what we're doing is we're going to the fifth dimension, because if you go beyond the fifth dimension, you lose your body. You can't have a physicality above the fifth dimension. And so what we're doing is our higher self is meeting us there, and we are slowly integrating back into the highest and best version of ourselves that we can be with a body in a density. Okay, so let go of your low vibrational twin. You can't save them. They have a soul contract. They know what they're doing. Their higher self has got it. It's all under control. And they are on every timeline, just like we are. And so like the slinky, as they're ready, they will pop up and ascend and catch their own waves. And there's a version of them on every timeline. So get to the ascended 5D timeline, and Spirit says they will meet you there. And so I don't know how that works. I just am the channel, but I liked that because I've been worried about my twin. Is he able to kind of catch the waves? And Spirit's like, he's already there. Our higher selves are already there. It's just integrating, learning, purging, clearing, jumping, learning, purging, clearing, jumping. And so it's time doesn't exist. It's a frequency. When you are vibrationally there, they will be vibrationally there because you're the same soul. All right, so Julene, I'm all done. Guys, I hope that resonates. I hope you can take something from that. I wrote a little note here. Julie, you can come back on now. I wanted to ask you something because I wrote a note and I don't remember. So you talked to me about Pluto return. And you said it's February 2nd, 2022. And so I just wanted to let everybody know, I took a little note of that because that's a universal number 2. That's a huge gateway. That's a huge portal. It's 222022. It's all universal 2s. So I don't know what that means, but maybe we can do a podcast in the future when we get closer to that, around the energies. Maybe we can, because that kind of amazed me when when I were just chatting and you brought that up, it kind of clicked, and I made a note that we need to do something about that, bring some kind of a message to the people when that happens, because that's significant.
It is significant, and for the United States specifically, and that is what that date represents. The United States is obviously one of the biggest countries and civilizations. A lot of what we do here influences other countries. And so on February 2nd, 2022, the United States will be experiencing its very first Pluto return. So Pluto will return to the exact spot that it was on the day that the United States was born, quote unquote, in 1776. So in astrology, we don't know what that means for the United States, but we do know historically what has happened, the types of things that have happened in other countries when they experienced their first Pluto return. So it is a big event. Pluto is a massive amount of power in Pluto. It takes a long time to affect change with Pluto, but once it happens, it packs a punch. So it's going to be exciting.
Forward to, I don't know what that means, but I felt something, and that's how I work when I feel things. And so I feel like that's going to be important. So maybe like a month beforehand, you and I can do another, well, I'm hoping we do many podcasts, but I mean, we need to do something special for that.
Sounds good to me. I'm game.
All right. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys. thank you for listening to my channel message. And when she's finished, we'll kind of tie everything together and say our goodbyes. And I just want to make just a few announcements about tomorrow night's full moon service. Because I did the channeled message here, we're going to have extra time, God willing, and the Wi-Fi gods, if they're on our team, tomorrow night. I'm going to do the ritual. We'll do our manifestation ritual right away. And then I'm going to do a collective read, a twin flame read, and a light worker, starseed, ground crew, whatever you want to call us, because we have so many titles, it's crazy. But I'll do those energy check-ins. And then if we have time, if anybody would like to get a personal energy check-in, providing the Wi-Fi gods are on our team, then I'm going to open it up for a $15 super chat, and you can get questions answered right in the live. So now, Julene, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I can't wait to say.
Well, first of all, thank you, Tracie, for inviting me to your channel. I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to talk to your viewers, all of you 1111ers, and hopefully, and I can explain things to you in a way that you can understand. And I was listening, obviously, in the background to Tracie's message, and she was talking about cycles, and she was talking about review and how the moon hits the planets, and all of that is very true in the astrology. So I can talk a little bit about that, Tracie, what you were talking about in your channel message, and see how that loops in, because it was resonant for me right away. I'm a Gemini, so I see both sides, the intellectual side and the side that we sense but we can't see. So for me, this and that are always true, and I look between to connect the dots. So it made perfect sense to me. I thought that was beautifully done. So
Thank you.
let's take a look at the chart. I'm going to share the screen here for the chart of the Aries full moon. It's going to pop Tracie and I probably in the corner somewhere. We'll just start taking a look at this. Can you see the screen, Tracie?
I can. I'm going to lean in so I can see better. As you guys know, I wear glasses, so I'm going to lean in a little bit here.
Okay, well, I can't see us up in the corner like I normally do, but that's okay. As long as we're there, that's all that matters. And you can see the screen, that's all that matters.
I see you, and I see the chart. I don't see me, and that's fine. I'm good with that.
Okay, perfect. All right, so this is the chart of the full moon in Aries that occurs on the 20th, which I believe when this airs will be tomorrow, the 20th, at 10:56 a.m. on the East Coast. And a full moon is an exact opposition to the sun. And that is what creates a full moon. And my drawing is not great, but bear with me. So here we are with the full moon in Aries at 27 degrees. And like Tracie was saying, Aries is the first of the zodiac. Aries is the baby of the zodiac, and everybody's starting off fresh here with an Aries new moon. Aries is all about action. Mars rules Aries, and that is action. It's about taking action in terms of manifesting what we want and moving towards what we want. And interestingly enough, that full moon is accompanied by Mars, even though it's in Libra. It is behind the full moon, which is helping everybody, all of us, manifest that energy, manifest what it is that we want. In Libra, Mars is giving us the ability to negotiate. Libra is ruled by Venus, so it's an air sign, so it's about communication. It's about creating balance and justice in our lives. So with Mars and Libra there behind the full moon, that gives us a little bit of negotiation skills, a little bit of, harmonizing energy to work with, which is really nice. Mars is also, as you all know, the masculine. The Mars is the masculine. There are a lot of planets that astrologers identify with masculine and feminine. Moon is a feminine energy, so we have her there, and Mars is a masculine energy. With all of the energy that has been in Libra for the last 20 days or more, I didn't count the days, but Tracie, you were saying, you were talking about how your channeled message, how Spirit was telling you that the moon was visiting and touching all of the planets in the last 20 days. Well, the moon makes a cycle, transit around the zodiacal wheel every month. So within a 30-day period, the moon will hit every planet in the universe that's sitting in the sky. So, the moon transits are very significant in astrology, especially when they transit and hit an angle. These are the angles in our charts. And when they cross over into another sign, which in astrology we identify as the energies. So Aries energy, like I said, is Mars energy, it's action. So the moon is very significant, Tracie. It's very significant in how it travels, and when it touches something, it can create change. In astrology, when you're looking at predictions and progressions, you actually focus on the progressed moon and the progressed sun, most specifically in most cases, to see where in your life there may be a focus and where changes might occur. So we watch the progressed moon very closely. So I would say that, your channeled message is obviously right on, at least to the astrology. It made perfect sense to me. So I just want to touch on some of those transits that have occurred, some things in the astrology recently that has been very significant. And, in talking to people in the last few weeks, it has confirmed that there have been big changes for everybody lately. And it's interesting to me that it can be linked back in the astrology. And so we've had, in addition to this fiery Aries full moon happening, we've also had other things going on. We had Pluto right here go direct after being in a very long transit since April 27th, went direct on October the 6th. And so Pluto rules Scorpio, and Scorpio is a very powerful energy. We all have every energy in our chart. So we all have a zodiacal wheel that looks like this, and we have access to every type of energy in our chart. Pluto energy is very, very powerful. It is about power and transformation, rebirth, death. Pluto going direct after being retrograde for so long. So it's like an internal type of churning and change gradually. Pluto's transit is very long. It's a 12-year transit. Going direct, now it's time for us to bring that manifestation out into our existence. So that is a very significant transit that occurred this month, as well as Saturn. When we were talking, Tracie was talking about Saturn. Saturn is right here, traveling just in front of Pluto, having just gone into Aquarius, which is the collective. Aquarius is the people. Aquarius is also very, the unique. Aquarius can create, aha moments. So, it is, it prompts change. And Saturn is the god of karma. And Tracie, we're talking about that too, the karmic cycles, and how you're ending relationships, karmic relationships, and things like that. That might be something that Saturn in its retrograde has caused everybody to review. And then now is coming out to actually take action towards. Saturn we have choices with Saturn. You know, Saturn is the teacher and the one that hands lessons out and can also hand out rewards as well. So now that Saturn's direct, so we have Pluto direct this month, we have Saturn direct this month, and then we had Mercury that went retrograde in Libra, and that sort of rolled us back a little bit, put the stop sticks up. You know, the universe said, okay, we need to sit back and review, think about what we want to do, even if we didn't want to. And, you know, astrology says all the time, just sort of slow your roll back when Mercury goes in retrograde, because the universe is probably going to put a little stutter there for you anyway. So it's kind of like go with the flow, you know, let that happen. But, you know, traveling in Libra, which is all about Venus, it's everything Venus and everything relationship. So since Mercury went into retrograde, we've had an opportunity to sit back and review and think about what we want to do with our relationships. And that went direct. Mercury went direct on the 18th, which is Monday the 18th. And it went direct with Jupiter over here that has been retrograde since June 20th. Jupiter it rules Sagittarius, and Jupiter is our spirituality. It is expansion of that spirituality. In a retrograde phase, it's asking us to go within and really decide what it is that we believe and how it is that we want to put that out there. So Jupiter's retrograde has asked the collective to take a look at what it believes at the, you know, in its core, and how we want to come out of that retrograde and share that with the collective, with others, and show it, you know, showcase it, you know, coming from ourselves. It's asking the collective to spread spirituality, you know, heighten our awareness. Jupiter is the planet of higher learning and higher conscience. So that's a big event. And that is all, yes, Tracie, the moon in the last 20 to 30 days has cycled around and hit those planets and sort of sparked off the action, or, you know, revved it up, or, you know, getting it ready to move. Wherever these energies sit in your chart will tell you the area of life that it's affecting you. And if you don't know where your birth chart is or what your birth chart is, you can get a free birth chart over at astroseek.com or astrocharts.com and take a look at where these energies are sitting for you, and think about what has changed for you. And what you're ready to start putting out there in the world. And with the Aries full moon, what it is that you want and how you want to express yourself and go about getting what it is that you want for yourself, or manifesting, I should say. Regarding the soul connections, I want to touch on that I've named my business Jovi's Star Soul Astrology for a reason, because I believe in soul connections. I've experienced them. We all have a choice, have had a choice when we come into this existence, you know, this time, into this life. I believe that, you know, we agree what we're going to work on and with whom we're going to work on it with. And we have to use the energy that we're given individually, which is different, to actually move through those cycles. And it is very personal to our soul. And so we have missions, we have agreements that we've come back here to work through. Really, for me, knowing what our individual soul's path is, what our individual mission and healing is, and moving through that, and then encountering the people along the way that we're supposed to be working with, we help one another. And every soul connection has a slightly different flavor in terms of what it is that you are working with on with one another. And, there may be a Pluto connection. So, the mission between two people may be to really affect powerful change. There may be a significant Saturn connections, and that is to one or the other or both are here to teach lessons and to help one another move through. I believe in the divine connections, the 1111 connections. I believe through my research and reading and working with people like TRACIE for so long, I believe that yes, the feminine energy of Venus is important, and obviously of Mars, and that we all embody those energies within us, and that there is a level of balance that we need to accomplish in this lifetime. But there are other masculine and feminine energies too in the zodiac. And, we, again, like I said, we all have access to every energy. And I believe integration is how we move up and out. The moon, like I had said, is a feminine energy. I believe, and I have seen in a lot of soul connections, a Neptunian effect, which, Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. And all of those things can be found in your individual birth charts, what your soul mission is, what your North Node mission is, rather, when you hear people say your true north in astrology, that's your North Node mission, and what your chironic wound is, how you're going to use your own experience at pain and wounding to heal yourself and heal others, because that gives you empathy. So I think all of that is included in the cycles, and how you can reach ascension. And it is cyclical. Tracie's absolutely right, it's cyclical. And like I said, folks like TRACIE, you have this really spectacular gift of just intuitively receiving messages from spirit, have helped me to it sparks my curiosity, because then I connect the dots internally with what's going on with me, and then it leads me into researching other areas. And so that's how I ended up learning and practicing astrology. And so again, for me, this and that are true. I think, entertaining different ideas and perspectives is how we can find the tools that work for us to move us forward in our spiritual growth. So that is what I have. If Tracie wants to, you know what else I wanted to do, if it's okay, Tracie, I don't know if you're listening there in the background, but are you? Okay.
I'm great. I'm sitting here.
Oh, good. Okay. So I want to take a quick drink of water, and then I wanted to just do one thing, and then maybe Tracie and I can chit chat and wrap this up. So in astrology, the degrees mean something. So there was a philosopher, astrologer, actually a psychic and intuitive, that many years ago channeled messages, probably like Tracie channels messages, in San Diego in Balboa Park, channeled messages of each degree of the zodiac, because there are 360 degrees in the zodiac, and assigned to each sign, 1 through 360. And he channeled a message for every degree and every sign. And although most astrologers, including myself, don't use those descriptions frequently when we're doing birth charts, it's more when you get deeper into astro coaching that it's helpful to go down and look at the channeled messages that were written for each degree and each sign. But because we are having this very powerful full moon in Aries, I thought it would be kind of cool to read the channel message. And now I have a book that has modernized it just a smidge. And so I'll read that for you if that's okay. But I also want to say before I read that this is a powerful fiery moon that can help us move forward what we've been manifesting. This full moon is happening just before we are going into eclipse season, which is in the beginning of November. So I feel like there are going to be a lot of really interesting things happen between now and the end of the year. And Tracie, I would love to do more collaborations. We have Venus coming out of Sagittarius, which, Venus and Sag wants to be free and sort of experience, but it's going into Capricorn, and Saturn rules Capricorn, and Capricorn is about structure. It's about what do you stand for? It's about morals and responsibilities. And Venus is to be in Capricorn for 4 months. That's a long time when you consider Venus usually transits about a month, a little bit more than a month. This is a month, 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. It's a 4-month transit because it's going retrograde in Capricorn. This is a time where, what Tracie was saying was like, maybe you leave your counterparts behind, maybe you choose to stay and work with them in some way, but one way or the other, Venus in Capricorn wants a serious commitment. It doesn't want any of this wishy-washy anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see how that folds out. So 27 degrees of Aries, as channeled many years ago, is a well-dressed secret agent holding a gun to his chest, sneaks into a woman's boudoir, rifles through her things, and discovers a coded document. Gaining access to secret knowledge, unraveling a crime, a sexual intrigue, or a scientific mystery by poring over various clues. Decipher subtle signals or clues, reformulate their analysis as the situation goes along, sniffing out new information, getting people to confide their most intimate secrets, considering possible solutions until one finds one that clicks, playing to win, dangerous, unscrupulous maneuvers, don't play by the rules. So in astrology, just like everything else, there's a positive manifestation of energies and there's a negative, a lower manifestation. And these channeled messages will describe those. So it's kind of interesting. Shrewd, cunning in facing snares, game plans in the political or sexual arena, sexually aggressive, throw people off balance by talking openly about their desires, blowing the lid off of some cleverly constructed fiction, hiding what one knows versus laying one's cards on the table. So we have a choice. It's about integrity, or is it about operating, in the lower octave of, what it is that we know for us is true. So for me, that says, will you speak your truth? Anyway, that's it with the chart.
I said that little channel message was so cool. I really like that. It's like, so, as with anything, we always have that crossroad, right? Choice. We go from the 0 to the 1, and the 1 is the choice. And so, yeah, I just did a channeled message. I did a reading. I'm trying to remember where I did a twin flame reading over in Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member and you're wanting to get, caught up on the twin flame saga, I did a twin flame reading over there, and that kind of came out in it. I noticed that there is part of the collective. Of course, I was concentrating on the Patreon community, not everybody, not the big whole. But yeah, it seems like there could be some temptations coming up for twins that are actually in communication or in contact with each other around infidelity or having an opportunity to sneak around and get some needs met. And of course, in the channeled message, it was about, choosing with integrity, making sure, that you that you choose the higher way and hold your twin to a higher accountability. But it really kind of, you'll have to go watch it, Jules. It's over
I
in
will.
Patreon. Yeah.
I will. Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
when you said that, I had a big smile on my face. I was like, there's another validation.
Well, you know, like I said, this and that are both true. It's just a matter of what gives each of us individually the aha moment, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's awesome. Yeah, thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much for letting me do this. I from the bottom of my heart and to all of your peeps out there, I am so humbled and grateful. I truly thank you.
I couldn't wait. I've been talking you up for a little while now. And I was like, well, I just don't know. I'm not tech savvy. It took me all day long to hook up my Wi-Fi booster. And then it didn't even, well, actually it did work, but Zoom, I don't know what's going on with my ThinkPad, but it said I had a strong connection, but my phone, I had to use my phone. But anyhow, I'm just not tech savvy. So I wasn't sure what it was going to take for you and I to figure out how to do it. Now we've hopefully, I'll be able to upload this because yesterday when you sent it to me, you sent it to my other email, which is not connected to my YouTube. So the only place I could share it was in Patreon. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that when you send me the link for this one in the email that's connected to my YouTube, it's going to be easy. I'm just going to, it's already there. When I
Okay.
upload, I select. So fingers crossed. If not, if you don't see this on YouTube, but you see it in Patreon, it's because I absolutely know how to upload it to Patreon. And I know how to share the link on like Facebook and my other platforms. So, but I'm hoping we're going to embed it into YouTube with problems. If the tech gods are with us.
We need that, don't we? We do.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Isn't
Is
it
there
funny
anything?
how?
Huh?
No, I just wanted to reiterate, I thought we could bring it all together by kind of going back to the fact that I will put in the description box all of the links for your Instagram, your Facebook, and your new YouTube channel. We just want to let my viewers know that there's no content there. You just literally just opened it. But now that you got your wheels juiced up, I think you're gonna start pounding out some stuff. And they get to be in on the foundation of that. How exciting is that, So if you guys like Julene and you would like to support her new channel, the links will be in the description box. And if you want to take advantage of those discounts that her and I are both offering, I can do a personal reading for you for a discount of $75. And my are pre-recorded and they're anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. You know me, I can't shut up. But I'm very generous with my time. And so you'll take a screenshot of your payment to order a reading with me. And then that's what you'll use to send to Julene to order your reading with her, and she will honor her half price discount for a personal natal chart. And she said her readings also are like an hour and a half long. So
They
if you're
are, and I
interested,
do mine live. I'll do mine live on Zoom, the interaction, just so I can get a sense, feel the energy. But I can do a recording and send it after the fact of the interaction. So yeah.
So I'm so excited. If anybody's interested, like I said, take advantage of those. We're going to offer that for what, like 30 days, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that sounds
we'll
great.
For 30 days. We'll take it from, what's today? We'll say the 20th to the 20th of next month.
Sounds good. That sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so very much. And anybody that's listening, make sure you go over to Facebook. There'll be a link in the description box below. Julene created her own Facebook group. It is a private group, but if you send or if you ask, how do they do that? They just click the link.
Request. They just request, and I'll add them. I'll add them in
Oh,
to the
good.
group.
And
Yeah.
so she posts a lot in there. I actually haven't had the time to read all of your posts, but when I do, I go in and put my little 2 cents in there.
Yeah. I love that.
So,
That's what it's for. It's just
anything else
discussion.
I need to say? Don't forget to join live tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, go to my community tab. The time and everything is there. I think I put it down for 7:30, but off the top of my head, I don't remember. So you can check that out. It's already posted in my community tab on my Facebook or my YouTube channel. Hopefully I'll see everybody tomorrow night. We're going to do a manifestation ritual. We're going to try to take advantage of this powerful Aries full moon. And by the way, if you check out my community tab where I put my my announcement, there's a picture. My camera sucks, but the moon was so beautiful last night. It's not quite full, but it was coming up over the trees, and I took a picture of it and I used it as the photo on the announcement for tomorrow's live reading. So yeah, it was a beautiful moon. I wish I had a real high, caliber camera, because it literally looked like it was popping right out of the sky. So
wow. Very
so
cool.
I love you too.
I love you too, Miss Tracie. Thank you, my very good friend.
Well, we're besties. I can't wait till our next night. So if anybody's catching this video on Julene's channel and on her platforms, if you'd like to reach out to me, she will link in the description box all of my platforms, my Facebook. I have I have a business Facebook and I have a regular Facebook, but I use both. And so I'll send you the links, Jules, and you can put them in the bottom for my YouTube. Yep. I have 2 YouTube channels that people can join if they like. And I have IG, but I don't know if we can share a video in IG. If we do, it's just got to be a link. So we'll have to research that. But we will absolutely embed all the contact info in the description box.
Yes, for both of us. And we'll be back together, doing things together. Yes.
Hopefully, awesome. Maybe next moon. Maybe we'll make it a moon thing. If you have time. I mean, I do it every moon, except for unless I'm out of town for an expo. But other than that, I do every single new moon, full moon. So welcome to join me, and we can do this every time. And maybe we can hammer down how to actually do it live, so we can interact in the chat room with the viewers. And that would be kind of nice to make it more,
That would be awesome. And, if we, at some point, if your viewers were interested in doing the single readings, like you do one question, I can do a chart that can go back on that question. If you ever want to, we could try something like that. Maybe just brainstorm a little and get some stuff on the calendar, whatever your viewers want. I adore you. And I am, we need to collaborate. Yeah, I do. Thank you.
You're very film worthy.
Fine. Silly.
All right, girl, we're going to end this. I've got to get off here. I love you. I'm so glad that thank you, Spirit, for supporting our Zoom so that it didn't glitch too much. There was a little bit of glitching, but I don't know if it'll show up on the recording or not. So we're just going to go with
that at all. It's good. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.